and welcome. I'm George in the Philippines, and today we're going to talk about our super scary 3 weeks with our daughter, Baby Rayne. Going to take you up to or through what happened, how she got sick, or we don't know how she got sick, but how she got sick or what happened. And then I'm going to take you to our decision to go to the hospital, what happened in the hospital, and of course, her recovery, her sickness there, some of her suffering, and maybe our suffering, and then the recovery. And then stick around because Caroline's going to join me and we're going to go over the cost of going to the emergency room in the province and then a hospital stay in a private room, the total cost that maybe you wouldn't even think of, and also the kindness of our doctor. We're going to talk about all that. All right. So, as you can see in the upper corner here, over right there, there's a little picture. That's a thumbnail for this, our scary 3 weeks. And Baby Rayne was, before he went to the hospital, I'd say about 2.5, maybe 3 weeks. We took her to the doctor because she had a cough, and it started with a cough. And our history with her is when she starts coughing, sometimes it takes a while to get better, and we know to take her to the doctor. So we took her to the doctor for the first time after a couple of days of her coughing, and the doctor said, "Okay, just we're going to keep watch on her, and if she doesn't get better, if she doesn't improve, in the next few days, just bring her in and we'll put her on antibiotic." But she recommended giving her something for the cough, so an expectorant, so she would either swallow it and it'd go out in her poop, or she'd cough it up. So we did that, and then she, over the next couple of days, she didn't really improve, and then she got a fever. At the beginning of that, though, the fever wasn't so high, but she was pretty hot, but it wasn't so high. So we took her back to the doctor, and Dr. Tan, who's been our family doctor for many, many years for all of our kids, she's a family practitioner here in San Carlos. She recommended antibiotics, so she put her on a typical antibiotic first line of defense, which you'd give a child. And so she was on that, and we noticed a little bit of improvement like the first couple of days. And then after that, she didn't want to eat. Her fever started to go higher. I mean, she's really hot, especially at night. And so I was worried about things like dengue, where if you get bit by lamuk, something like that. And she also was complaining of stomach pain, stomach upset. And so I was also worried about a UTI, urinary tract infection. Just my nursing background stuff kicked in. But when you're a father, you kind of get a little emotional and you forget a lot of things when it comes to your own family. So over the next few days, this is what developed. These are more symptoms. So, and then she didn't want to eat. And so we took her back to the doctor, and we wanted to let the doctor decide if it was going to be a mission or not. And Dr. Tan, when we took her there, said, let's put her on another like antibiotic and like a little stronger. And let's just see how she does with that. And if she, in a few days, if she's getting better, she's eating, she's getting better, then that's good. But if not, we'll just follow up on it with her. So, and we also were treating her fever, which during the daytime it was just like under her armpits was a little hot, her chest, and maybe her hands and feet just a little warm. like mild fever, but at nighttime it would spike up high, like even 101, 102 degrees, something like that. Um, like close to 39 Celsius. So we were kind of concerned about that. So we were really monitoring. We couldn't sleep. We were just, seeing how she did. And then she would eat during the day. She started eating. And then over the next couple of days, she totally stopped eating. Her fever just came back strong. And she was kind of complaining about her stomach. So we didn't want to mess around. So it was about total time during this was about, I don't know, 2 weeks during when all this went on. And then so we decided because when she's not eating, like her second day of not eating, like really eating, and then whenever she would take water or something, she would vomit. So we decided to take her to the hospital at like 1 a.m. in the morning. So we took her to the hospital, to the ER, and when we took her to the hospital, they weren't busy. They took her right away, and they wanted to do labs on her. They hung an IV bag, which was really good, so she'd be hydrated. That's what I was really concerned about. And she didn't want them to stick her with a needle. And she's only 5 years old, Baby Rayne, but she's very strong. So it took about four of us, maybe five people, to hold her down. And if you're a parent, it's not fun to do that to your child. You don't want to do that to your child. It's a lot of trust issues when you hold your child down. When other people do it, like when we're in America, if we were in America, it might be other people doing it. But in the Philippines, family ties is different. It's different culture. And you really need to take part, hold your child down. It's very hard. For me, it's very hard. For my wife, it's very hard. But of course, we did that. And my daughter was yelling at my wife, telling her she hates her. And that was hard for my wife. But I explained to my wife later that the baby trusts you so much to be able to tell you that she hates you because she's not going to tell a stranger that, the other people, and don't worry about it because it will pass. She's just saying that because she doesn't want to get this. And when she gets older, she'll understand. And maybe in a couple hours, she'll understand. So anyway, we held her down and I held her legs. The other nurses were holding her arms. The doctor, I think, was in there too. And they ended up being able to get a CBC from her blood. Her veins also, she was a little dehydrated. They were very hard to get on a baby, a small toddler, child. So ended up getting the blood and getting the IVs in there, but she was really sick. Fever was high, wasn't coming down with medication. And then when they do the labs, they're holding off on giving the antibiotics till they get the labs back. So pretty quickly they got the labs back, and her white blood cells were very high. They're very concerned about that. And the doctor was concerned about her heart rate was super high also. And he asked me, I'm concerned. Why is her heart rate so high? And I didn't say anything because out of compassion, I don't want to say anything. But in my mind, I knew why her heart rate was high. She was very afraid. She was very afraid of all these people holding her down. And of course, she was fight or flight. So your heart rate was very high. He was saying it was like 130, but for a child, it's not, that's high. Yeah. But with fever, being afraid, being dehydrated, to me, that's perfectly normal. But I'm not going to say that to a doctor. I don't want to sound like a know-it-all or anything like that. And he's just concerned. So anyway, she wasn't there long, which surprised me because in the past she came there to the ER a couple years ago when she was very sick, and she stayed there for like a full day before she was to the hospital, to the private room. And we got a private room. We'll go over the cost of that too. We wanted a private room for her to be isolated with us in there. So went up to the private room, and she was very she was responsive, but very kind of out of it. And for her, being low energy is very abnormal, not eating. So She was also very upset that they would get blood. She's very scared, looking at her IV, looking everywhere every time a nurse came in, screaming. She's very emotional, my daughter, our daughter. So by the second night in the private room, the second day, she still wasn't eating, but she was getting IVs. She was getting antibiotics. And Dr. Tan came. Oh, yeah, Dr. Tan, our family doctor, came in the after we were there overnight on the first day. She came in there in the morning. So it would be on this really this first day, but maybe just in the morning. She came in around 8 or 9 a.m. And she said that we're flushing out this, whatever it is, we're going to flush this out. We're giving her a lot of like antibiotics. We're going to flush it out and just detoxify all whatever the garbage is in there, the bacteria, if it's bacteria, and then we'll get it out of there. And she said people are getting sick with this, like they're having like stomach upset, high fever. It's starting, kids are getting that now. It's starting to spread. So she said, we'll take care of her like that. So within 2 days, her fever started going down slowly. Like she still had a fever, but it went down to like 38. And then by the third day, it went down to like 30, 37, something, just a mild fever. And then on the third day, she started eating, and she started eating a lot. She was asking for food. So I walked, I just walked. I didn't take my vehicle. I walked to a 7-Eleven to get her. She was asking, I don't care healthy food or anything, just finger foods, whatever she wants. Happy for her to be eating. She wanted a hot dog from 7-Eleven. She loves those. So I walked to 7-Eleven and got that. And then she wanted Yakult. So I went to all the 7-Elevens in San Carlos and couldn't find it. And Save More had it, but you had to buy the whole pack. So I ended up getting her something similar, but she didn't like it. So the next day we got her Yakult, the big pack, and she was drinking those nonstop. So that was the really good. That was her recovery. She was happy. And then she said, they put an IV in her arm to give her meds. I forgot to mention that. And the doctor came in on the end of the third day, and she told us she can go home tomorrow, but I want her on 4 days of antibiotics to finish her antibiotics, and you can bring her to the ER every day and do that, because I don't want you guys to incur the cost, because it's very costly here, and I don't want you guys to incur the cost. And she just said that it's a doctor's choice to do that. Some doctors want people to stay, but it's just going to cost you money, because the antibiotic is an important part, and her labs or we can check those on the first day. We'll check those again, but I'm not worried, because now her fever went, and she's eating, and she's back to her normal self, high energy and stuff like that. So the next thing to get her home, the next challenge that came up to get her home, was she didn't want anybody doing any more blood draws. And so the doctor told, we'll do one more blood draw before she goes home, so just we can make sure the white blood cells have gone down, and then we can check, again if we need to. Like she said the first day, but she changed it. We'll just take it. She has to get a blood draw to go home. And so I was trying to convince my daughter, and I know my background, my minor in college was psychology, and I worked with children during nursing, death and dying, hospice, and then also PEDS ICU. I really understand the psychology of a child. I think that's one of my lucky gifts that God gave me. So I really had to figure a way to convince her. And she wasn't having anything to do with all that psych stuff. So I just told her, okay, Baby Rayne, what do you want? Like, what do you really want that you can't eat? That maybe mommy won't let you eat because it has too much sugar or something when you got sick. What is it you really want? She said she wants pizza and of course hot dogs, the other hot dog, but also ice cream. So we made a deal with her that right away when she came home, we'd have pizza and ice cream waiting for her. So we thought we were going to see if that works. So they came in to get her blood in the early morning hours, and this was contingent. She had to do this. So she woke up and she started fighting. She didn't care about all this stuff. Whatever I said about the ice cream and pizza is waiting. We got the ice cream and pizza. It's waiting for you. She didn't care. So there was the lab person, and she was going to do it. And I told the lab person, and I don't like to do this, but for the love of my daughter, I had to. I didn't want to tell a person what to do and how to do their job. It's not good. I'm not Filipino, number one. You know, I'm a foreigner here. And if you don't know me, I'm George. I've been here in the Philippines in January. This coming January will be 16 years. I've been with my wife, Caroline, for 15 years. And we have four wonderful children, ranging in age from 5, which is going to be 6 in another month, all the way up to 16 years old. And so, anyway, where was I? I have to think where I was. So, anyway, she wasn't having any of that, but I had to tell now I remember where I was. Had to tell the laboratory person taking the labs to please get more staff because she's going to fight us. And for my daughter's safety also, and for the sanity of the lab tech, the person drawing the labs, for the sanity of everyone, and especially the protection of my daughter. I don't want her missing, even though she's so good, I know my daughter's going to fight like hell. So they got a few more people, and my wife and I had to hold her again. She told my wife she hates her again. And we ended up being able to get the blood. And then she hated my wife for about an hour until she forgot it, and then she was loving again. And we were both in the bed with my daughter pretty much the whole time she was in the hospital. Laid in the bed with her, my wife or I, and my daughter's back to very loving. She forgot about that stuff. So okay, so that was that. And so the next part was, let me look in the chat here if there's any comments before I move on. Hey, good morning, Therese. Good to see you. Thank you for leaving a comment. Good morning. Glad you're here. And you guys, the Filipinos, if you're in the Philippines, tomorrow is Undas, All Souls Day, November 2nd. So if you don't know, the Filipinos know better than me, but just from my own experience, living it with the family is All Souls Day. Undas is when the Filipinos go to visit their loved ones that have passed on. They clean the gravesite, leave flowers, light candles, pray, and give their respects to their loved ones, and get together with the rest of the family, have a lot of food, just remembering the loved one that has passed on. And we will be doing that tomorrow also for my father-in-law, who passed on a number of years ago. And I have a video about a year old. If you guys want to watch it on Undas, just search on my channel, and you'll see kind of us doing that. So anyway, back to the story. Leave your comments, you guys. Leave your comments. And I got to go back to the comments here. I thought about it, what I would call the community. Because, like family, everyone's, hey, family, hey, tribe. It's kind of generic. So I just thought about a number of names, and then I like root keepers. So I'm going to call the community root keepers. So welcome, root keepers. And I said they're so glad you're here. Continue growing with us. But thank you for being here. I don't like to be so corny, but I like root keepers. So anyway, let's continue with the story of what I went over the hospital stay. If you're just getting in here, the emergency room, how when she got sick, what happened at home, then the emergency room, being in the private room, and now I'm going to go over us going home. And please stick around because I will go over the cost of this at the end with my wife. We'll break down the cost of the stay and the kindness of the doctor. I think the total stay. Mom, how many days did we stay? How many days total did we stay? Yeah, from the emergency room to the private room. 3 days. Didn't they charge us for 4 though? Did they charge us for 4? Yeah, because we left in the morning, but they still charge us for the last day. We missed the cutoff, but we'll go over that at the end. So, okay, so we made it home. Now we're home, and Baby Rayne has the IV. She has the IV in her arm, and she's back home. She's playing on her phone. She's watching TV. She's talking like everything's normal, and she doesn't. She don't. Also, what I didn't mention, she doesn't like to take antibiotics, so we couldn't really give them to her by mouth. She kept spitting them up or vomiting. That's why we took her in the emergency room pretty quickly. We didn't wait longer. We waited a while, but when the sickness culminated when she wasn't eating, drinking, and she was refusing to take her meds, and then vomiting, we had to, with kids, you don't mess around with that. So we took her to the emergency room. Okay, so she got back home now. She made it back home. She's eating, drinking, happy. So the first day, in the morning, we got home at nighttime, we left in the morning, actually, and then we spent the day there. And then her antibiotic, they gave her the antibiotic before she left. So when the nurse came, well, we took her back to the hospital the next day to get her antibiotic, and didn't go well because what they do in the hospital is they just had her in the ER, but they put her in a bed. So for her, she was in a bed. She's back in the ER. What does that look like to her? Like, we're going to be staying here again? So she fought like hell. So the doctor agreed the next day. She ended up getting her antibiotic. The doctor, Tan, said, let's just, if it's okay with you, it'll be the same cost. We can send the nurse to your house so she can be there comfortable on your couch or wherever she likes to be, and we can give it to her there. Would that be good? Yes, that'd be great. So she had 3 more days at this point because she got it there in the emergency room. So she had 3 more days of antibiotics till she's done. And that's very important to finish those antibiotics. So, okay, so that sounds good. So the next day, the nurse came, and Baby Rayne met the nurse. She came with her husband. Husband came inside too, and we're very happy to see her. She's very good. Took some time, like around half an hour before she actually put the IV in there, which takes an hour, but she was just talking with us, talking with Baby Rayne, which I liked. And she was from the ER there. They just sent that ER nurse there, but we hadn't seen her. And she's been working there a number of years. And Baby Rayne didn't like it. She's crying. We had a little bit fight with her the first day. But by the second day, then the third day, she really knew the nurse. The third day, it was easy. She let her do it. But the challenge came on the last day because guess what? After she had to get another CBC because, of course, the doctor needed to see that her labs were normal. So she fought us, but not so strong. We got the CBC after everything was completed. The next day she came, or the last day she took the CBC. I don't remember the order if she took it before the antibiotic or whatever, but it's not important. She took the CBC. She finished her antibiotics, and then we had to convince Baby Rayne. It was a good thing. I was preparing her for a couple of days that she was going to get her IV taken out after the last day. They're going to, because you don't need it anymore, so you'll be free. But she didn't want anybody to mess with her. She wanted them to leave the IV in her arm. Leave it in my arm. This is mine. just don't touch me, kind of like that. So she fought with us a little, but she took it out, and I was distracting her. And then she taped it up, and I told her don't touch that for a few days. Just we'll tape it up. And then she's very happy to have her arm free and not that IV in there. At the end, she was happy. So that was good. So her recovery was very strong and fast. Once she, like after the second day in the hospital, at that point her recovery was fast. It was wonderful. It wasn't scary anymore. Um, she she was back to normal, and that is the greatest thing for a father, for a wife, for us to know that our child isn't so sick anymore. It's very scary when you're not sure what they have. They have the super high fever. They're not eating for a couple of days. That is very scary. I know if you're a parent, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I don't want anybody to go through that. I don't like to go through that again. We've gone through that a few times with our children and necessitating emergency room visit. It's very scary. And you just, for me, I fight in my mind to visualize the good things, like her already recovered, her arguing with her brother and sisters, playing with her brothers and sisters, playing her games on her phone that she likes to play. And then that's exactly what happened. I don't like to visualize the negativity, put that in my mindset, because that potentially could happen. That's what I think. So, and I was encouraging my wife also to visualize good things, to have good things in her heart. And it happened pretty quick. So God bless you when your child is sick. God bless anyone that's going through that. I wish you well with that. So we need to go over the cost, right? Hey, Caroline. Okay, we'll wait for Caroline to come up here. Let's see if there's any new chat. Oh, we got some chat going on here. Hi, Leanne. Hi, Leanne. Good morning. Great to see you. Hello, Mom. Hope you're doing well. Your health is well. And tomorrow, Undas, All Souls Day here in the Philippines. So to everyone, happy Undas. Yeah, we'll go to San Ysidro tomorrow. We'll probably make another video. Yeah. Wow, what a heart-wrenching ordeal. Hey, David, good morning. What a heart-wrenching ordeal. Being an older dad brings a lot of maturity and wisdom to raising children. Glad she's doing better. Wow, thank you for your encouragement, David, your uplifting comment. I think you really understand, yeah, what it feels like going through that. Appreciate your comments here. So, David, Leanne, Cherise, whoever's watching, I see there's around 9 people, 7 to 9 people in the chat. So anyway, we're going to go over cost for you, just from experience, not not just giving estimates, but giving real cost for people, a life lived experience. So Caroline, do you want to, let's talk about it.
Okay, I will just stand here.
Okay, so we'll start one step at a time. Let me put this up here. It's morning time
So, asa mo ito mag-start?
here in the Philippines. So I will start. I will just ask Caroline questions to make it easier for her.
No.
Yeah, because she's a financial person.
No.
Yeah, no, you are. You're the financial person.
Just
So
overall na lang, dahil yun ang pasay na.
no, I'm going to break it down for people. You don't need to explain, baby. I'm going to guide you with the questions to make it easy for you. Okay, so this is for our community because it's important for people to understand the cost if they don't know.
Okay.
So maybe David doesn't know the cost also. So for the emergency room, how many days was it? Oh, okay, wait, we won't break down the emergency room.
Ayun, sa AR?
The ER, can we break down the ER?
No.
Okay, so we won't do that.
Can't break it down.
Okay, we can break down they charged us, even though we were there for really 3 days, charged for 4 days because we didn't make the cutoff of 9 a.m.
No, dili, uy, 2 p.m. Na late gani kog 30 minutes.
Oh, so we left in the afternoon?
Yeah, the
Like
cutoff
2:30?
is around 2 p.m.
Oh,
Then
2
na late kog
p.m.
30
So that's
minutes,
fair
they
enough.
charge us another day.
Okay, so for 4 days in the province hospital with a private room, how much is it? Not including the doctor's cost, right?
It's around 23,000.
So 23,000 US dollars or 23,000 pesos.
Oh, less na siya sa kuan sa healthcare.
Okay, but just the cost without the
Yeah.
healthcare. 23,000 pesos, and we'll just round it off at divided by 58 pesos. So around 400 US dollars, 396 to 400 US dollars. That's insane. That's a really fair price, I think. Is it the same if I was in Cebu?
It's more,
It'll be more expensive, right?
expensive.
Okay, so that's pretty good. We'll round it off to $400, and then okay, so let's just keep it there. We won't go with the coverage that we have for the healthcare. We won't go with that yet. So we'll just say around $400. Then how much was the doctor's fees, which will
Oh, 4,500.
okay. So we got $400, and then 4,500 pesos for the total doctor's cost.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really
Yung
reasonable.
discount man na, instead of 8,500.
Who gave us the discount, Dr. Tan?
Kaya sa kuan, also sa healthcare.
Okay, so don't do the healthcare. Give the total cost first.
Oh, na, 4,500.
But you just said we got a discount.
Yeah, that's all, okay.
Do it without the discount, Mom,
It's 8,500.
because I want to give it accurate for people. Because some people, okay, so 8.5 divide. We're gonna do the around 58 pesos. So that's around another $146 plus 400. Okay, so it's around 546 US dollars, and that is in pesos around 31,700 pesos for the total cost of everything. Okay, now we're gonna go the what, Mom?
The tampo, sa bulay.
Okay, before we do the tumble, let's do the discount now. So with the Phil Am, right?
Oh, no, yeah, still health.
Phil Health, and then the doctor's discount, how much total?
So, mga kuan.
I can't see you. People can't see you, Mom.
It's okay that I'll just say.
No, they want to see you. Thank you. Okay.
Mga naas sa 12,000, including sa doctor's discount. 12,000 pesos.
So minus everything, 12,000 less.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a really good. So 31.7 minus 12,000.
Ay, dili. I-minus na lang mo siya kung kuan. 4,500. Ay, 4,000.
I thought you said it was 4.5
No.
minus 4,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So that discount is the doctor's discount.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, so with the healthcare and everything, it's 27,700.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, sa medication ni Rayne,
Okay, so it's 27.7 in pesos, divided by 58, roundabout. So total cost without medications is close to 500, 477 US dollars. Okay, and I already gave the peso equivalent. And so the peso equivalent is 31,700 pesos. Okay, so now we're going to add in addition the nurse coming over, right? The nurse coming over and the medication. Okay, so the nurse coming over. Okay, so we'll go medication. That's what my wife wants to add first. So what was the total cost of the medication, Mom?
it's 10,178 sa 10 vials.
Okay, so 10,000.
10,178.
Okay, and so that.
And then nurse fee.
Wait, I got to edit this. Let me delete this. Oh, I'm already showing it. No, that's David's. Okay, so in pesos, just for the medication, it's 10,178 because you got to buy the medications, you guys, too, here, right? In the hospital, we paid for that too. That was hospital cost already, or is this separate? Okay, so this is, you have to buy the antibiotic and everything in the hospital, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Pharmacy.
Yeah, the pharmacy there in the hospital, right? Yeah, exclusive.
Cheaper one.
Okay, so this is the total cost of all the medications, right? 10,178. Okay, so add another 10,001. Okay, and so I'll give you the total in a second, you guys. Okay, so in US dollars. So just for the medication, okay, so it's 10,178 pesos, which is another 175 US dollars. Okay, and I'll give the total cost of everything. So now next is the nurse, right? So for the nurse to come for how many more days? 3 days, Mom? Three, 3 days. Oh, so we'll include the ER one they got too, the 1 day. 4 days to get the antibiotic from a nurse coming to the house. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to give you now is 4 days nurse coming to the house to give that antibiotic IV. Because we included the first day, it's the same cost when we went there to get in the ER. Just gave it over an hour and then returned home. So the total cost per day is how much, Mom? 1,000 or? Okay, so 2,500 per day.
Actually, per day, uy, that's total na.
Okay. Okay, okay, not per day, total. Okay, so total. Okay. Stick with me, you guys. I'm figuring it out here. Conversions. Okay. Okay. Wow.
David!
Okay, so for the nurse to come to the house to give the antibiotic IV over 4 days, you're not going to believe this price, you guys. Total cost is 2,500 pesos or 43 US dollars. My God, if I'm in America, there's no, I mean, you can't get that, first of all. Second of all, it's going to be thousands of dollars thousands and thousands of dollars. That's crazy. Okay. And we do have health care insurance for Caroline and the kids. They do have health care insurance, PhilHealth. Okay. So that's helping us a little bit with that pricing. Okay. So that's pretty reasonable, don't you think? Mom, is there any other costs like her ongoing? No, she doesn't have any ongoing. She's done. And our daughter also couldn't take it by mouth, and the doctor knows that. And Dr. Tan saved us thousands and thousands of dollars. You got not thousands, saved us thousands and thousands of pesos because she's a different kind of doctor because she was thinking for us instead of incurring more hospital costs and then her costs, because she'd get a kickback for that. All doctors do. It's normal. She decided, she didn't really say that in those words, but she decided, we know what she is doing, to send us home over the next 3 to 4 days, not to stay in the hospital for an extra 3 or 4 days because it would have been much higher price. She sent us home. So that's our province doctor. How many years has she been our doctor, Mom? She's our doctor too, Caroline and my doctor. Um, around 8 years. I don't know.
Yeah, 10 years.
10 years? Yeah, I don't. She's been our doctor for 10 years. And she's a very good doctor for all of us. And the reason I really like her and want to always continue is because She's smart and she's a general practitioner, but the way she treats you, she looks at you, jokes with you, has her faith. She'll pray with you, tells us pray, pray, and treats us like human beings. Whereas some doctors, anywhere you go, in the Philippines, in America, whatever country you are, they don't even really look at you. They just write down your prescription, write it down because they're very busy. They don't look at you. Okay, here it is. Okay, bye. Okay. They don't want to talk. They don't, they don't have time for whatever reason. I'm not saying they're bad, but for me, the way I am, I'd rather a doctor like Dr. Tan. I think I really made the right choice here in San Carlos at San Doc. What do you guys? What's the full name of San Doc, Mom? San Carlos Doctors Hospital. It's a private hospital. I really glad that we've chose her over the years. She's always coming through for us, and she has her own difficulties, her own ailments. Her knees. I think she has arthritis. She has. She said she's old, going to retire soon. My wife just told if you can't hear her. So we're blessed, and I don't know, we can't find another doctor like that in my mind. Okay, thank you, Di.
Bye, guys. Magluto na ko kayo.
Oh, you're gonna cook.
I'll
Okay, salamat kayo, Di. Luto, luto,
Yes.
luto ka. Oh wow, Jose, that is crazy. 4 day stay in hospital here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Will charge you 24,000 to 60,000, depending on what else is needed. See, this is insane. I'll make another video about this. Thank you, Jose, for sharing that. That cost 15,000, 20,000 US, 881. There you go. But it's even more, David. Thank you, David. That's crazy. That is the truth right there. This is what I don't think people realize, like, because what's shared by fellow YouTubers, when we're sharing stuff, we sometimes we don't break it down, individualize where we live or if we're in the city, in the province. This is a huge cost in the province, and this is a huge cost. I mean, look at this. Let's go back. So let me look at my calculator here. So anyway, I think it was around 31,700 total cost plus $10,000, 10,000 pesos more. So we're looking at around 41,700 total. Total cost, nurse, everything, adding the $43, everything. Compare that to around one. Well, it's even more than that if you're in Las Vegas, David. Because according to Jose, it's 24 to 60,000. So yeah, it's a couple million to maybe like at least 1,100,000, what David said, all the way up to millions and millions of pesos if you have to get up to 60,000. That's crazy. Jericho, I don't know that. Hey Jericho, thank you so much for being a new subscriber here. Appreciate it. That total beats a BLS ambulance run in California. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know because we didn't go ambulance with my daughter, but it's not that expensive either because we did that a few years ago with my father-in-law so many times and then so many visits in the hospital. It cost us a lot, but if we're in America, we would have been bankrupt. That's the thing that I want to really hit home and make a video that it just takes one time in America. It could be one time as a Filipino in the Philippines. If you're a Filipino, it could be one time to bankrupt you too, a hospital stay, right? Because the things that I really want to cover are America might have higher pay, but it incurs higher costs. So you might be higher pay and then it's higher cost of everything. So you're bankrupt just like you are in the Philippines. The Philippines is lower price for to work if you have a job. It's lower hourly rate. There's lower fees you get paid, but everything's lower. The food is lower compared to America, right? And then the hospital stay is lower. But it's really overall it's the same thing. It's the same thing because of what's happening in America now. You have higher fees, but it's higher costs. So if you really look at it deeply, I don't know. But the difference for me to come here to the Philippines, why I came here and why I will never leave. And I didn't see Vietnam. I didn't see Thailand. I didn't see Cambodia. All these other places people are talking about, to be fair. But I met my wife here, and over the years, I've been here just about 16 years. You can't beat the faith and family, and they might have the same thing in Cambodia. They might have the same thing in Vietnam. They might have similar in Vietnam, but it's what I experienced, so that's what I can share, you guys. To be fair, I'm not an expert. I'm just a simple, faith-based, spiritual person. I would consider myself. I am a faithful person, not a perfect human being, has many faults, but I can share my experience in San Carlos City in the province here. But someone else in San Carlos City might go to a different hospital, might go to Bacolod, might go to the other hospital here, and might have a totally different experience. So I can share my cost. And also for me, I don't have health insurance here. I'm not retired either. And I've been blessed with my life to just financially, we haven't had to worry about things. But when I first came to the Philippines, because of my bad choices that I've covered in videos, and I don't mind saying, I don't have anything to hide, I was bankrupt, which you don't need to be, but I ended up lifting myself up with the help of my family. And you can say with the help of God, but I don't really think it's the help of God, because God gifts us what our mindset is. So God will gift us if we have a poor mindset or a good mindset. Whatever we're asking for and believing is true, that's what I believe God will gift us. So if you're asking for bad things because you have a poor mindset and you're just chasing women and having bad experiences and losing your money, God is gifting you that because you're asking for it. And the opposite, if you're following a spiritual route, you believe in God, you believe that God is within you and outside of you is everywhere, and you follow God and you're faithful and you're doing your best to be a faithful husband. If you're married, you're faithful to your wife and you're doing your best to take care of your children. You're not chasing alcohol, chasing gambling, chasing women. Then God will gift you with probably a better life. That's been my experience. So anyway, let's see what people say here. This is a married reasons of poverty here. Many file for bankruptcy. Oh yeah, you're talking about America, Jose. Yeah, I agree with you. This is a married reasons of poverty here. Many file. So Jose, I've spoken of that on my videos and on my lives. That uh, in my voiceovers also, that the legal system, the courts are set up for you to fail in America. If you're a married man, you're not set up for success, because legalization of being able to get a divorce so easily. Like when you get married, it's already an opportunity. It's already another option. When you get married in America, it's already an option to get a divorce. And if you're a woman, the game is set up in your favor. The courts are set up in your favor. Get married. If it doesn't work out, get a divorce. And if your husband is the breadwinner, take at least half of that money. Get the children. If you have children, get the children. Your husband will be lucky to be able to visit them. on the weekends. That's just the reality. It's not every person winds up like that because there's other things that could be happening where the wife maybe is doing things where she might be doing like drugs or she might be doing bad things that aren't in the best interest of the children where the husband can win custody. But it's few and far between, Jose. I know Jose knows what I'm talking about. The court systems in America are set up for divorces. They get paid also. If you don't know, they if you don't get a divorce, the judges won't get paid. They're not going to get paid, but they get a kickback for every divorce that happens. They get a kickback. That's part of their pay. If there's any judges here, they'll tell you any people in the legal systems, that's how they make their money. It's a lot of money. So I hope in the Philippines they will not decide to have an option, or the option will be very difficult for divorce, because in my point of view, I can't tell Filipinos what to do, and I can't be involved in the politics. But just from watching what's happened over in America and why I didn't get married again in America and was not married for like 10 years, I was not married and decided to come to Southeast Asia and decide to come here. And if it's in the cards to marry here, if it was in the cards, if I met the right person. And so that ended up happening for me. And I don't follow the rules that these YouTubers will tell you, like don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. I follow God's rules, and what is placed into my direction, into my heart, I will follow. I won't follow the man's laws unless, of course I have to follow the laws of the Philippines and in America, but I will follow God's laws, like as far as the things I do in my life. For finding a wife will come. I will attract a wife, and then my children. The decisions to put them in private schools, being able to do that now, but it wasn't always the option for us. But we lifted ourselves up, and and with focusing on what I wanted to do with my life, what my mindset. And so God, I would attract God to be giving abundance in ways that I couldn't imagine, by just asking for it in the right way, not begging, not falling on my knees, saying I'm a sinner, but knowing I'm not perfect, and then visualizing and imagining and then saying in my prayers affirmations, so that God will gift those things. And so that's how I turned around my life. And I talk about that pretty much every live stream, pretty much every video I make. But yeah, I will talk about this, what Jose is saying here. This is a very good point. Thank you, Jose. This is a married reasons of poverty here. Many file for bankruptcy because they have no choice, because they bought into the systems in America, like I did too for many years before I woke up, and realizing the system is set up for your failure, and not relying on the government to fix things, not relying on a president to fix things, not picking sides of saying you're bad because you're woke, and you're good because you're faith conservative person, as people say. I don't fall into those categories. Other people will put me into those categories, but for me, I don't play any of those games, because we're all human beings, and God will allow us to wake up when we change our mindset. And I cannot judge other people as good or bad, but I sure can judge their actions, because actions are so loud you can't hear the words. When a person's when we watch our own actions and then other people's actions, those talk way louder than words. But when your words align with your actions, because you woke up and then you're aligned with God's vision for you, whatever you call God, if you're Christian, if you're whatever you call God, I'm not going to get into a religious battle, but when it's lined up everything will line up: your heart, your soul, your spirit, your words, your actions. They will 100% line up. And then when you watch someone, you'll know, oh, that person's awake. That person's awake because they're not running around. They're saying that they believe in God, but they're drinking. And then they're saying they believe in God, but they're cheating on their wife, or their wife is cheating on their husband. They're saying those things, but they're doing things to cheat on them like that. Like cheat, I don't know. I don't want to. They're just not faithful to their wife. To me, I will watch the actions myself and other people, and then I will decide if that's a good. I'm going to listen to what that person says at all. So that's me, and for me, I can see that easily by watching behaviors. Let's look at some of these others. Then it goes on your credit FICO score, which brings you down further. Yes. And well, I'm going to talk about that. Wow, this is great, Jose. This is not great, but that's what happened to me also in America. I had a perfect FICO score, like not perfect, but high, like in the 800s. And then, like so many years ago, like around 2 decades ago, when my divorce went, that the last time I was married, when I was married, my FICO score when we got divorced, split everything, went down hard. And then we were we had to split everything, and then I had to file for that too at that time, around I don't know, around 20 years ago. And then I did that too, and my credit score was around 500, 400. Then guess what happens because of that? It's even worse now. You can't rent. So I sold all of my properties because we ended up having to sell those and split the money. And then, um, yeah, and then couldn't rent a place. So I had to go, like at that time, I was going on online I forget what it's called. It's an app, I forget, and people, I forget what it's called. It's not probably not popular anymore. Um, and then I would find a place to live because I couldn't rent anymore. So I went from perfect score, divorce, to like per credit score. You're a terrible person, George. You are a terrible person. You do not deserve to be able to buy a house, have a rental. You have to go find someone that you might fill out a contract, like a private party, that'll agree to do that. And when I came to the Philippines in 2010, January 2010, uh, when I came here, I mean, when I went back to America, like in 2012, and then again in 2013 to work as a nurse, I had to go private property, and I was staying on a park bench for a couple of days. I couldn't get a vehicle. I had to ride a bike to and from work, right? No problem for me because I'm like a Filipino heart here. As people would say, I'm a foreigner, right? They would say I'm an American, right? I don't say that though. But my heart is Filipino, so I'm resilient. Same like a Filipino. No problem. No place to stay. Sleep here. Bike, bike to and from in the rain, in the snow, in the whatever. Who cares? Just do it for your family. But then later, I was able to find a place to live because I just fill out a contract and then pay a great upfront fee, a lot of money upfront in America, in Texas, and then do that. I'm going to talk about that. I'll make a video about that because this is things that really we need to go deep here. But when I came here, it wasn't that bad in America, but I saw it coming, and I told people, I told my family, you guys, it's going to be bad here. This is what's coming. You're not going to own things anymore. You're not going to be able to have things unless you're rich. Then they thought I was a tinfoil guy, a crazy person. And then I came to the Philippines and then I'm watching it all unwind, and I'm not happy about it. I don't wish this upon anyone, but I make videos so people can see my life here, a life lived, not just sunshine and rainbows, but the good things that happened to us and also the challenges. And then the hospital, what happened? How much it cost? I like to share these things so people know. But for me, the Philippines, I don't like to share the bad things, meaning it's not good to share, like, of course, I will talk about you could lose your money if you do these things, the reality of things. But I don't want to talk about individual Filipinos or scammers and they're just uh, looking for money and they're just going to dig in your wallet. It's up to you and your mindset if you're going to attract that. It's up to you. If you're coming here looking for women just to have sex with, um, and just to ruin their lives and ruin your lives, then yeah, you're going to lose everything. That's up to you. But I don't really like to go deep into that because that's a different kind of mindset. And those kind of people, it's up to them to wake up. But what I look at when people do those things, if you're a Filipino doing that, if you're an expat doing those bad behaviors, the way I look at it is I am a father that has three daughters. I have four daughters actually, and one son. And if someone did that to one of my daughters, just fooled her or just gave her money so he could have, like, do those things to her, really, I wouldn't like it at all. I wouldn't like it. And don't you think about that you're doing that to the Filipino fathers, the fathers that care about their children? Not everybody's like that. Some don't care, but many care, just like I care. It's not good to do that. It's very bad. So I will hope you wake up. I just watched there's a couple new expats that are making videos, and there's one that's talking frankly about doing that and looking for a young one and then talking about all his sexual exploits. And it's like, can't you like even see what you're doing? Aren't you a father yourself? Do you have children? So anyway, I won't judge you as a human being and say you're a bad person, but your actions are bad. So anyway, I got off topic there, but let's I'm just going into all this when Jose brought this up. So let's see what else is going here. Jose says in Kentucky they just passed a law that the default is 50-50 custody, which takes out the incentive to pursue financial gain, then drop divorce rates by 25. See, that's why it's a game. And I hope it doesn't get legalized because, see, when you have rules like that, even that will drop it. But when you make it, yeah, so it's not, so the person that would get the financial gain from that gaming the systems, now it's like more even, 50-50. So they're going to have to give the custody. And so probably the financial end of it also is going to work out better in favor of the 50-50 custody, right? Just naturally from that. So of course it's going to drop by 25%. See, when you make it harder, it's going to drop it. If you make it harder, it's going to drop that and make it so it's not an easy option. Like if you're going to seek out a divorce, maybe pass a law there in America that they have to work on their marriage first over the first like 5 years or something. They have to and make it like a law that if there's proof that can be shown that you're cheating with your spouse, that you go to jail. Hey man, that's make rules like that. I'm just giving my opinion. That might be extreme for America, but hey, if you want to fix the country, you got to bring back the foundation of the family. Otherwise, there's no fixing anything. And maybe it's not fixable now. It's too late. I'm just saying, as a simple person. Thank you, Jose, for this information. That's Kentucky, the southern state. It was passed in 2018. Other states is considering similar law. There you go. There you go. We'll see what happens. Good luck passing these laws in Congress, in the bills, I mean, to make them a law. Good luck there. So I wish America well with that. So great comments, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this live, and that's going to be it for today. I'm working on a few videos, so be on the lookout for that. I did miss a couple weeks here because of what happened with my daughter, and I wanted to just make a make and for me, YouTube is a passion. I like to share my videos because I think they might be helpful to people that live in different parts of the world to not be fearful to leave if they want to. If they're happy where they are, that's fine. Overall happiness, meaning can't be happy all the time. Happiness is fleeting and passing. But if you want to make a change and you're fearful, that you're at least research other places, um, and just look at where you can have family until it changes in the places you are. Or maybe you're going to stay there and fight. I don't know. For me, it was a long time ago when I came here. There was no one to fight. I was talking to people and they thought I was crazy. Back in around 2005, when I woke up, 2006, leading to me to come here in January 2010 to the Philippines. So it's just my channel is a place of hope and community for free, where we can just voice and you can watch the videos that I make that aren't perfect. And if you agree or not, if it gives people, what's that word I hate? Beacon? Hate that word. It's like an AI word, like a beacon of hope. Like the channel is hope for people that need it. That's all. An imperfect place for imperfect people to live, to strive to reach our capacity in the perfection of God. All right. So that's all I got for today, you guys. God bless you and your families. If you have family, God bless you and your families. If not, God bless you. Stay safe wherever you are in this crazy world. We'll say bye until the next one. And I'm not going to make any promises, you guys, but I will at least do weekly lives and weekly video releases, okay? At least a one something every week. Maybe it'll be a live every week. Maybe it'll be a video every week, but I will definitely do lives weekly. The videos might be weekly. I don't know. We'll see. But definitely at least one live per week because I really want to talk to the community and I appreciate the community that takes part and talks here with me and we go over things and I learn information what Jose said. Let me I need to screenshot this, Jose. Screenshot. Screenshotting Jose's comments here so I can use this. Man, I messed up on that one. Sorry, you guys. Let me make this bigger. Okay, screenshot. Let me see. I also want to screenshot David's. We're going to make a great video, you guys, because of your comments. Your comments really. I'll say this one from Jose. Okay, got it. Leave any comments you want, you guys, before I leave. I'll answer any. If you have questions or if you want to leave information. I'm just making screenshots right here of some of these comments I have here so I'll remember. Okay, cool. All right, let's go back if there's any other comments. Yeah, jail time. Really good point there. That's what I think I mentioned. You're going to jail here if it's proven. America needs to get the same kind of law. Other places, I'm sure there's other places that have even worse for adultery, especially if you're a woman. There's so many good comments here. Okay, I think that's good. Just remember this one. If you come cheating, if you get married and you start cheating on your wife, or if you're a woman and you're cheating on your husband, it's not hard to prove. There's people that will find, even though people that do it are very sneaky, they decide to take those actions. You'll be found out. I mean, I've watched on Tofu, Senator Tofu's YouTube channel, people getting in big trouble. So anyway, that's all you guys I want to say. Thank you for watching this one, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.